Let's have some reactions to the attack that happened here. Bushra Sheikh, who is a Pakistani living as a visitor in the United Kingdom, posted the following: "What happened in Edinburgh should disgust every decent person. I hope Rupert Lowe, Richard Tice, Elon Musk, Tommy Robinson, and the rest of the anti-Muslim outrage industry are proud of themselves. I am sick to death of their daily hatred."
We're proud of that.
Enough. Absolutely enough. Let's have a look at this.
So this guy goes on a rampant killing spree in Edinburgh, stabbing, attacking at least 5 people. All of them are injured. Clearly an act of terrorism, an anti-Muslim attack. An individual who goes on to say that he did this because he wanted to cleanse the United Kingdom of Muslim bastards from this country.
Is that what he said? Did this guy just go out there and was like, "Oh yeah, I just want to cleanse this country of Muslim bastards. That's just all I want to do. I just don't like Muslims, so I want to cleanse this country of Muslim bastards. That's why I'm doing this." Is that really what he said? I don't know why. I just want to get rid of Muslims. Is that really what this guy is all about? Is that what his primary concern was? Let's hear again what the guy actually said.
Focus, protecting the country from these fucking little bastards, raping our young daughters, raping our kids. Enough is enough. I have had enough.
So seemingly this guy just has a problem with Muslims for no reason at all. He just wants to cleanse the country of Muslim bastards for no reason at all. We don't know why. He just doesn't seem to like Muslims. I don't know.
He doesn't like brown people.
We don't know why. It's just he was inspired by Tommy Robinson and Rupert Lowe and others so much to dislike Muslims.
Went about it the completely wrong way. What is he actually enraged about? What people are doing, what Muslims are doing. It's their actions that enrage this guy. It ain't Tommy Robinson. It ain't Elon Musk. It ain't Rupert Lowe. It's the Muslims who were going around raping and gang raping hundreds of thousands of young British girls.
No, he just doesn't like Muslims, man.
Why not be really, really enraged at the rapists who are causing guys like this to become enraged? Why not be enraged at the people who are really causing this guy to become enraged and violent?
Exactly. If you're a Muslim and you feel that you are in danger because there is anti-Muslim hatred being spread, and you think that some people are attacking Muslims and you don't want that to happen, how about you start by passionately dealing with the rape gangs and start putting a stop to them? Start working together and put a stop. Start signaling, showing that you as a Muslim actually really dislike and hate the rapists and the rape gangs, and that this is your number one problem. How about you start there? But you don't care about it, do you? She is one of these people who, when the situation will come up of rapist grooming gangs, she will start posting pictures of some white British guy who also raped somebody and say, "Look, there are also white British non-Muslim people who do this stuff." How about you deal with the fact that the grooming gangs are mostly run by Muslims? Because that endangers you. That puts you in danger. Maybe you should have a little bit of survival instinct here and do something about that.
This incident hasn't happened in a vacuum, right? This isn't some attack that has just...
Right. This guy didn't randomly decide to go out and target Muslims.
Yeah.
It was because of the things that a bunch of Muslims did that he did that, right? This didn't happen in a vacuum, right? This guy didn't wake up one day and say, hey, I'm going to go out and attack a bunch of Muslims.
It occurred, and it's just a coincidence that people like Elon Musk, Richard Tice, Rupert Lowe, the likes of Restore Britain, the likes and parts of Reform, the right wing, Tommy Robinson, those crew, that club, that have been inciting violence, civil war in this country towards Muslims specifically. The language that has been normalized around Islam and Muslims in Britain is...
You mean the language such as the majority of grooming gang perpetrators are Muslims? You mean language such as that there has been a consistent pattern of Muslims abusing children and getting away with it, or it being buried because the authorities are afraid of being called Islamophobic? You mean that kind of stuff, right? That's what you mean, right?
Absolutely unacceptable. We have been talking about this not just from yesterday, from years before. to say that something needs to be done. And now we are...
Why is she calling for violence against Tommy Robinson?
No, I mean, think about this. Like, something
Why is
needs to be
she
done.
endangering Rupert Lowe?
Something needs to be done.
Why is she calling for violence against critics of Islam? Why is she, with this dangerous rhetoric, calling for violence and terrorism and stabbing against anyone who is critical of Islam? I don't feel safe anymore. If I go to the UK now, if I walk down London now, I might get attacked because of her.
Something needs to be done, AP. There needs to be
Something needs to be
laws. There needs to be laws to silence people like Bush or Sheikh from inciting violence against us.
But there are already Islamic laws, but she doesn't follow them. She should be shutting up and wearing a hijab and going home, but she doesn't care.
seeing it out on our streets.
Maybe Islam has a point, you know.
That women are intellectually deficient?
No, Muslim women.
Yep.
Where there are individuals who are willing to kill, to stab innocent Muslims that live in this country because they believe that they are doing society a service. And yes, Rupert Lowe, Richard Tice, Tommy Robinson, Elon Musk, you're one big, nasty, far-right boys club.
I'm sure they're really upset about the fact that you called them a boys club.
Using
What will Elon Musk do now? What will he do now?
your followers, your power, your money to influence people, to make them hate Muslims. Every other minute, all you people talk about are either migrants with an undertone of Islam or just Muslims and Islams in general.
Dude, I see if Elon Musk talk about these things occasionally. Most of the time he's talking about Grok, space, Tesla, US laws. What kind of fantasy world is she living in? This is what she does all the time. But you know what's funny? It's been 2 minutes in and she's never actually addressed the actual problem here.
I'm absolutely sick of you people. I'm sick of your posts. I'm sick.
Well, get the hell out of here then. How about that?
Sounds like she wants us all to be eliminated.
She wants all of us to be killed. This is what she's causing with her dangerous rhetoric.
Sounds like she's calling for more terrorist attacks, more Muslim terrorist attacks against us.
Non-Muslims are literally unsafe now because of her rhetoric.
I'm sick of every single thing you guys stand for.
Go to the doctor then.
You don't
You make me sick. I make me sick. We should all be sick together.
have any decency. You're nasty. Katie Hopkins, all you people, your little club, your little group of people.
I thought it was a boys' club. You said Katie
Disgusting
Hopkins.
individuals.
Why is she now part of a boys' club? That's weird. But everybody sees this, right? Everybody sees how she's literally putting these people in danger now. With her dangerous rhetoric, she's now putting all of these people's lives and safety in danger. That's what she's doing. Because of her, somebody will be attacked, and it's going to be her fault.
And people that follow you are just as bad. People that cheer you on, your cheerleaders.
Yeah, didn't Bush also go to celebrate the IRGC in Iran? She did. And if she's actually back on British soil right now, after doing that, after literally going and celebrating the Islamic regime and their terrorist military, if she's actually allowed to come back to Britain again without any consequences, that would just give me one more reason to say that we all know that the British government is made up of a bunch of traitors.
Well, your little club, your little group of people, you're just disgusting individuals. And people that
filth.
follow you
The
are
Quran
just
is
as
right.
bad. People that cheer
Well, not just-
you
not
on,
just-
your cheerleaders.
Well, you're a rapist, pedophile supporter. So what does it matter what you think about these people?
If she's allowed to be enraged because people like report what Muslims have actually done and so on, like, how are we not allowed to be enraged that the Quran calls us the worst of creatures, which is part of the mentality that gave rise to the grooming gangs? Muslims are the best of peoples. Non-Muslims are the worst of creatures. We have to be fought and violently subjugated because we're inferior. Why aren't we allowed to be pissed at that?
Look at the audacity. That's these people who are literally part of a club of pedophilia and rape want to tell other people that they're disgusting. Pretty messed up.
Mm-hmm.
No self-awareness at all. She posted this. David posted, Muslim terrorist screams Allahu Akbar while slaughtering unbelievers. Bushra Sheikh, don't blame Islam, don't blame the ideology, don't blame anyone but that particular bed. Scottish man stabs 5 Muslims. Bushra Sheikh, blame everyone who has ever criticized Islam and anyone who reported the grooming and rape of tens of thousands of young British girls.
Ratio. Now, you want to see something encouraging? Yeah, let's check out the responses. Where was this energy for the 250,000 young British girls raped by Islamists? I don't need to know you to point out your blatant hypocrisy and double standard. Blaming everyone for the actions of one man. Yep. The vast majority of Scottish people are peaceful. They're using the exact same response as Muslims. The vast majority of Scottish people are peaceful. Please stop demonizing Scottish people. This will increase anti-Scottish sentiment, which is already at very high levels. Stop using an isolated tragedy to inflame tensions. The number one cause of Islamophobia is the behavior of Muslims. They're raping children and detaching heads. Go F yourself. And then pictures of the grooming gangs there. Nothing to do with those you mentioned. It's the actions of Muslims. That's what I pointed out. It's the actions of Muslims that's the problem, you racist. Calls her a racist. Vlad the Impaler, I tried to show you how to deal with the invasion of Islam. You must have missed my TED Talk. Let's see how far you have to go down before someone agrees with her. 250,000 girls raped by Muslims disagree with you. You support the IRGC and the funders of international terrorism, so shut up.
STFU. You are welcome to leave anytime you like. 9 times higher rate of attacks for Jews. Have you spoken out about the 250,000 girls mentioned in the rape gang report last week? Why shouldn't we hate them? In recent years, we've had numerous terrorist attacks in the UK. I couldn't really tell you the reason the terrorists have for committing the atrocities, but I can tell you, since 2005, all of the coordinated attacks have been by Muslims. They've killed kids at a concert, people on public transport just on their way to work. They've stabbed innocent people on the street. No rhyme, no reason, or certainly not one I understand. I didn't like the IRA, but I knew what they were terrorizing us about. And we hated the IRA, protest marches, retaliation acts, banners, murals, etc. We all remember sectarian attacks, Catholics versus Protestants, the craziness of it. The same thing we are now witnessing in the Ukraine, brothers killing brothers. But what we're experiencing is different from most Muslims in the UK. Is different. Most Muslims in the UK are probably peace-loving, but their allegiance isn't to us or our country. It's to their religion and cousins. And we know what they think about cousins. Peace-loving doesn't mean pacifist. It just means, okay, nice post. Cool. I'm not going to read all of this, though. It only disgusts us because it's taken this long to finally happen. I wouldn't agree with that. I'm more disgusted by the Muslim men who raped around 250,000 white British girls. Did Lowe, Robinson, or Musk leave these killers and their families into the let these killers and their families into the country? Stop scapegoating others, especially do nothing about goats when there are Muslims around.
Hey, I can't help but notice that you've got some big accounts, posting some good responses, but I'm the one that ratioed her.
That is true. Well, only because I didn't post in response to her. Otherwise, it would have been me. So,
oh, look at that. See, nobody cares.
And here we have some. Oh man, you could look at every single one of these forever. This is 7.5 minutes long. From the rape gang inquiry. Mother of rape gang survivor. We've had to firebomb-proof our letterbox because we've had threats to have the house burned down. She's had threats to get her throat slashed. I've had threats to get my throat slashed. This has been continuous for 4 years, constantly.
Yeah, Busher Sheikh is super disgusted at that.
Father of rape gang survivor. She'd already been raped at this point by a gang, and most of the gang members went to her school. How is your daughter with relationships now? Father of rape gang survivor. Guarded, very guarded. She doesn't trust anyone. Scarlett is very clear that she never wants children or to bring children into this dreadful world. I asked Jess Phillips to look into this, and she completely agreed with me and said, oh yeah, we can do that. We can do that in a couple of months. That was 18 months ago. Nothing has changed. Father of rape gang survivor. Rape gang survivor, they called it the party house, so there were constantly men coming, anywhere between 10 and 20 men at any one time in the house. But one time on 8th day, I remember him shouting at me, telling me I had to get friends out because his relatives were coming from Birmingham to celebrate Eid and they were expecting girls to be waiting here for them. This, Bushra, is the cause why bad things are happening in your country. So, I mean, in the country that you are inappropriately visiting, you should probably go piss off to the Middle East somewhere. And I can tell you now, Rape King survivor, and I can tell you nowadays, now, not a single one of the men during that time that I met were coming here fleeing war and were scared of what were going on at home. They were coming here because they thought that they could have fun. None of them were good people. Not a single one had any other mindset other than drinking, drugs, and taking a girl whether she wants to or not. Sounds quite familiar. What do you get from a rapist ideology? Rapists. And here is the famous post, once again, by the good old late Norm Macdonald. What terrifies me is if ISIS were to detonate a nuclear device and kill 50 million Americans, imagine the backlash against peaceful Muslims.
No, he'd say like, imagine the backlash against peaceful Muslims.
Hamza Yusuf, the former First Minister of Scotland. Muslims once again targeted and attacked in the UK, this time in Edinburgh. None of this is happening in a vacuum.
Why do they keep saying that?
I don't know. It's literally out in the street. Nobody thinks it's happening in a vacuum. Rupert Lowe, Tommy Robinson, and their ilk have put a target on the backs of Muslims for years.
He's literally putting a target on the back of Rupert Lowe and Tommy Robinson.
Hardly a surprise people are now acting on their words. They're all repeating the same thing. This is Muslims are being targeted. This did not happen in a vacuum. We can already know that. We can literally see it. Rupert Lowe, Tommy Robinson, and others are responsible for this. It's always the same thing. Why are they all saying the same thing? It's very, very interesting. Here's Dilly Dally Hussein. This is on Rupert Lowe. This is on Tommy Robinson. This is on all the charlatan, grifting, racist Islamophobes that have put a target on the back of 4 million Muslims in Britain. Why is he putting a target on the backs of Rupert Lowe and Tommy Robinson? Question number 2, why is this bastard still living in the UK? Oh yeah, he wants to take over, of course, naturally. If he wants to take over, where else would he live? The responses were pretty rude. This guy said, it's on the rape gangs and the authorities who didn't do anything about them. It's also on you. It's a pretty messed up thing to say. Here's David, once again, repeating this same post that he repeats everywhere.
Remember what you mentioned? They're all saying the exact same thing. So I just repost the exact same thing because they're all doing the exact same thing.
Firas Murad says, so 5 wounded innocents are on them and every terrorist attack, rape, stabbing, and no-go zone is on you and yours. Do you like this arithmetic?
Good
He
point.
probably does not. You put a target on white girls' backs. Indeed. Gamonzilla says, no dildo Hussein. Dildo Hussein.
You should make a parody account called Dildo Hussein and just parody everything he says. hey, and you should call it 30 pillars. 30 pillars with Dildo Hussein. Guys, I just gave someone in the chat a golden idea for a parody account on X. That's Dilly Hussein, who runs 5 Pillars UK. You come up with your parody account, Dildo Hussein of 30 Pillars UK.
That's pretty messed up, man.
It's pretty messed up, but desperate times call for desperate measures, man.
This is on Muslims, the behavior of Muslims and only Muslims brought this on. The non-stop Muslim terrorism, the never-ending massacres, stabbing, bombings, and beheadings, the Muslim rape gangs grooming children on an industrial scale, the complete contempt that you Muslims have for the British people who gave you a home, the extremely low Muslim employment rates, the extremely high Muslim crime rates, the extremely high Muslim welfare dependency, the Muslim sectarian politics, the behavior of Muslims brought this on. You only have yourself to blame. All ham to Allah. I said all ham to Allah. Muslims, non-Muslims. Why are these people?
Those memes are always funny, man.
Nope, it's on all of you for expecting the country to bend over backwards for you, for being quiet when one of you commits yet another atrocity, for the rape of 250,000 of our girls, for infiltrating our government, authorities, and establishments, and using your positions to hold back and demonize the native white Brits, for your parallel societies, for your no-go areas, for your youngsters who use our roads like their own personal racing tracks, for calling for jihad and flying Islamic terrorist flags while you march in London, for turning our churches into mosques, for forcing our children to attend your mosques at school and making them bend over and pray to your God. And the rest haven't exactly been pleasant guests, have you? Do better or leave. Nothing to do with Muslims. You're being completely ridiculous. Britons never wanted millions of Muslims in our country in the first place. They came uninvited by the native people. Instead of respecting British culture, I must say this is not true. I'm sorry, but you need to take responsibility.
I think he means like by most of the population or something like that.
In the end, it was the United Kingdom itself that actually did invite the first waves of Muslims who mass immigrated into the UK as a way of rebuilding the country. Somebody could have told them that this is probably a bad idea. And then they just continued. Oh, no, you don't want... Okay, our people don't want more Muslims here. Okay, don't worry. We will just integrate the ones that are here. This will work out. And by the way, while we're at it, we as a developed, wonderful country, we should invite more of them over and also have them integrate and work here because we need more workers. Oh, by the way, there are lots of Muslims being persecuted in these other countries and they're seeking refuge. Let's also accept all these refugees over here. But only this many, not more. Oh, wait a minute. A lot more of them came in illegally. We didn't really want that. However, we are a very, very advanced civilized society and we can't just deport these people. So we have to somehow integrate those people too. Instead of respecting British culture, social norms, or our Judeo-Christian ethics and its indigenous people, 250,000 British children have had their lives ruined by the most disgusting abuse, violation, degradation, and torture by Muslim rape gangs. Where is your outrage there? Plus arrogant and inappropriate demands for special treatment, beheadings, terrorist attacks by Muslims. If there is a target on the back of Muslims as you claim, then frankly Muslims are entirely responsible for putting it there. Based. And here comes the most disgusting person in international media. Along comes Mehdi Hassan. He responds to this post here, which once again shows the very same incident, which we shall watch again. Breaking, a 36-year-old white Scottish man is being investigated by counter-terrorism police after 5 people were stabbed in Edinburgh. He said after his arrest, I'm protecting the country from these effing Muslim bastards raping our young daughters. In response to this, the wonderful, most reliable journalist, Mehdi Hassan, said the following. The same week that Rupert Lowe put out his bullshit rape gang report. I repeat, the same week that Rupert Lowe put out his bullshit rape gang report, falsely claiming Muslims raped 250,000 white girls. And the same week Elon Musk amplified it on here, this happens. Is anyone surprised? They're inciting violence against Muslims and emboldening extremists. He calls this rape gang report a bullshit rape gang report. This bastard here. He calls it a bullshit rape gang report. Now, you can have your problems with the estimates of victims, with 250,000 girls being raped and so on and so forth. The report itself says that the 250,000 is an estimate. It might be more, it might be less, we don't know. The report, however, is full with actual victims that are named, who have told their stories, with verified stories. It is full of actual data, full of information that Muslims have been running rape gangs in Britain, that they have been raping native British girls and women in Britain. Mehdi Hassan comes here and says and calls this a bullshit rape gang report. I have a lot of things to say, a lot of things that I want to say about Mehdi Hassan, but I will leave it all up to you guys because I have a tendency to lose my temper when I talk about this stuff, as we have seen over the last few days. I don't know why.
Look what I did.
Here's this guy again. Muslim terrorist screams Allahu Akbar while slaughtering unbelievers. Muslims don't blame Islam. Scottish man stabs 5 Muslims. Muslims blame everyone who has ever criticized Islam. This guy's everywhere.
Shameless.
Harris Sultan said, stop raping non-Muslim girls so there are no mass rape reports. Based. Ian says, ever the victims, aren't you?
Always a victim.
The cyberpunk dingo says, it's not difficult, Matty. Just say raping non-Muslim women is bad. Go on, you can do it. Matt Von Swall says, yes, so Muslim migrants gang raped 250,000 white women in the UK. But actually what I'm really worried about is the backlash against the Muslims. Go F yourself. Matty says, you first. No, you first, Matty. First you do it. You demonstrate it. Then others will do it too. Adam Wren, it's the backlash against innocent Scottish people that concerns me. Asmongold openly defends an anti-Muslim terrorist attack in the UK where 5 men got stabbed. This is nothing. This is not even remotely bad. Who gives AF? Who cares? I don't want to hear about this. Now Hassan wants us to be worried about something bad happening to him.
That his bullshit rape gang report falsely claiming Muslims raped 250,000 white girls same week. Elon Musk, is anyone surprised? They're inciting violence against Muslims and emboldening extremists. If you think this is bad, this is nothing. This is nothing. This is not even remotely bad. Oh my God. And another Hassan. Yeah, exactly. It's just crazy for me to see some of this stuff, right? And let me see what the other ones here. Hassan, bigger apologist. Exactly. And he'll always, this is what he'll do, is he'll always try to he will immediately, this is a person who has immediately come to a conclusion. You've created an entire narrative and you've done all of this in the span of 3 hours since this event happened. And now everybody else has to listen to this narrative. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? I don't want to hear about this. This person defends every terrorist in the world. And now he wants us to be worried about something bad happening to people like him. That's it.
There's also his reaction to Asmongold was shocked to find out how Muslims treat women. The Prophet Muhammad stated that women are deficient in both religion and intelligence related to men.
And the Prophet Muhammad stated that women are deficient in both religion and intelligence relative to men. And in the same hadith, he noted that women form a majority of those. And so all the women are in hell. If a woman or a dog passes in front of a praying man, the prayer is invalidated.
Look at his face.
If a woman or a dog passes in front of a praying man, the prayer is invalidated. What? A woman or a man passes in front of a
I wish he was full screen. That would be a funny little clip to say.
Passes in front of a praying man, the prayer is invalidated. There's a reason why mosques position men with their backs to women during prayer.
He actually read the entire thing.
Yeah, I know. We should have done that. That was a brilliant idea on his part.
He did he read the entire report. He went live for hours and read the entire report from beginning to end, and then published all of it as one video on his YouTube channel, which is pretty nice. Pretty nice. Good man. Good man.
He's all right.
Good man, Asmongold. Good man. I thought he was just some weirdo who just sits at home and plays games, but I've come to like him a lot.